It is an absolute honor for me to be in the company of many amazing women for the past, I would say for the past 10 days, just to commemorate International Women's Day, who have excelled in their personal and professional lives. And today, I'm surrounded by many other women who have reached and excelled in their personal and professional lives. So congratulations to you for where you are today. Ladies and gentlemen, I begin by sharing my thoughts for the women and girls of Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the countries across the world that marked International Women's Day with a public holiday. I take this opportunity to reaffirm our solidarity and support to the struggling and displaced women in Ukraine. Let us talk about the essence of International Women's Day, which is commemorated globally to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. This day also marks a call to action to accelerate gender parity. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to continue playing our part in strengthening gender equality and realizing women's rights. You can always help by raising awareness in your communities, and I thank the First Secretary for just doing that. The campaign messaging using the hashtag Break the Bias is also apt. We as a community witness bias, stereotypes, and discrimination against women. We must remember that it is not the women in our society who need to change. Instead, we need to change the culture in our community from the top to grassroots level. And this is to eliminate prejudice, sexism, and misogyny, which continues to be found in our society. And today I want to share the three forums that I held that the Ministry of Education hosted in the Central, Western, and Northern Division. And these forums were mainly for women in education sector, and the idea was to get them in the room, to motivate them, to empower them, so that they can also apply for leadership role in schools. It was quite an interesting finding that we have 69% women teaching in schools, but only 26% hold leadership role, whereas we have only 31% men in teaching fraternity, but interesting, they hold about 73 or 74% leadership role. So that was quite an interesting data that came out from our survey. And in that forum we had all this, not just the women, but we also had men participating. And just simple stories, listening to them, what they shared was quite interesting, and I can relate to that. And I'm sure the women seated here can relate to that. And I want to share that story. It's not my story. I want to make it very clear. A lady got up and she said, and she's a school teacher, and she said, you know what, we work in the school, then we go home, we have to cook for the family, but also get the homework done for the children. And then my husband comes home, relaxed, sitting outside in the porch with grog and with all his friends, enjoying. And then suddenly you hear the voice, and he's screaming and asking me to take the mosquito coil. So we had good fun on that day, because mosquito coil became quite an interesting word for that day, and almost everyone could relate to that. These are simple things that we talked about. So can you imagine a world that is truly free of bias, discrimination, and stereotypes, where differences are not just accepted and celebrated, but valued? The Fijian government strongly believes in women empowerment and ensuring that women in Fiji are given adequate opportunities and protection. And again, I acknowledge our late speaker for initiating under SDG 4 that all annual reports must have a section on gender where each ministry has to give a breakdown of how many women and how many men are employed. And it's quite, again, interesting that we are not right there, because that information reveals that there are a lot more men than women working in certain ministries. And that is also same for the municipal councils. And municipal councils have been asked to provide that gender information when they also submit their annual reports. Ladies and gentlemen, progress of women is progress for the family, progress for the community, and progress for the nation. Giving equality to women is not an option, but a necessity that cannot be overlooked. Giving equal opportunities to women and recognizing women's capabilities also exhibits success for any country. Education has been a game changer for our girls. With the provision of free education, we have closed the gap in the access to education for girls. The government has taken care of this by paying school fees, bus fare, textbooks, and from last year, our girls started receiving the Dignity Pack. Today, there are about the same number of girls in primary school as boys, and more girls in higher education. So in Fiji, at least we can say that access to education is not an issue today. As women, if we want a better future, we must work together to ensure that our voices are not ignored by those who wrongly believe that women are just homemakers and not suitable to lead or hold positions of responsibility. The truth is, women are strong, equal, and capable, and we deserve to be treated as such. Ladies and gentlemen, let me focus on today's handover. And again, I want to thank the Government of Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and also Sandra and her team under Market for Change for working with municipal councils and changing the whole dynamics that exists in the market. Market is an interesting place if you start analyzing what all happens in the market. Initially, it seems it's just a place for trade. People are buying and selling. Consumers are going there to do their daily shopping, and of course, a lot of shopping in the weekend. But slowly, when you start attending to complaints, you realize that you can write a completely different narrative for market. And it's quite visible. I remember having this conversation when the farmers approached me. It was a weekday when I was visiting Nosori Town Council, and I was in Nosori Market with the CEO of Nosori Town Council, with Anu. And we were having this discussion with the farmers, and the farmers were very upset that when they come on a Saturday, they don't get space to sell. And we tried to understand why is that. And we found that the stall holders, on a Saturday and Friday, they also rush out and occupy spaces which is meant for the farmers. So they get two spots. One is their own stall, and the other one is outside. And people who are walking around or shopping, they will think that there are so many vendors here selling, there's congestion, and particularly for pandemic, we need to be mindful of spacing as well. But the reality is the number is same. It's just that from one family, you'll find 4 or 5 people selling inside as well as outside. And that is creating the congestion. And today's handover, the laminating machine and the printers will surely help the municipal council to understand who really their clients are. And if we just make that mandatory, that everyone carries the ID card, you'll have the number, you'll be able to analyze that, and you'll be able to control the number of vendors in the market. We've also found that in the market, we have vendors who have multiple stalls. For example, they have a stall in Nosori, Langere, in Suva, and then they also put people on the roadside to sell. It's the same vendor, whereas for the public, we feel sorry. We simply say, oh, poor vendor, selling from the roadside. But they don't realize who the owner is and how he or she has planted more people on the roadside to sell. So we need to control this just to create a level playing field. And as you know, municipal council, we have a different interest group. Ratepayers are there. They also want our footpaths to be clear, and footpaths are meant for walking, so we have to be mindful of that and provide a clear footpath for the pedestrians and anyone else who want to use the footpath. So I thought I should share this with you. As I said, I want to thank the Market for Change project for giving us 8 identification ID card machines and 13 lamination machines for the municipal council. And this is not the only help they provided. They did not only provide these items to municipal councils. Over the years, we have seen that Market for Change also helped municipal councils with PPE items. They also provided tents, and we know that there were vendors who were selling under scorching heat. When the numbers increased in the marketplace, there was nothing much we could do. So with the tents, we are able to accommodate extra vendors who come to the market. But ladies and gentlemen, I wish to further acknowledge the contribution of UN Women to assist in the work of local government. The Ministry of Local Government has been collaborating with UN Women in constructing markets and women vendors accommodation centers in various municipalities. Both the ministry and the UN Women are committed towards ensuring the improvement of markets and building new markets to create safe and secure place for our vendors. Under the Market for Change project, UN Women has supported the upgrade of Namaka Municipal Market and in the building of new Reki Reki Market. There are 3 other major infrastructure projects assisted by UN Women, which are currently in progress. These are the Levuka Market, Nosori Women's Accommodation, and the third one is on the verge of starting, and I'm excited to get the Savu Savu markets off the ground. And I was just sharing that with Sandra. Then I can place a tick and simply say all these 3 projects are happening on the ground. It's no longer on the paper, but it's happening on the ground, where you'll see the construction workers and construction workers working, and that will give a lot of relief to the market vendors. When I went to Savu Savu for consultation, and my consultation was on the market design, most of the questions that came from the Savu Savu vendors were mainly to do with when is it going to start. So I have been pushing my team at local government that I want this project to get off the ground as soon as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I would like to convey my appreciation again to UN Women and its donor partners for the continuous support towards the women farmers and market vendors in Fiji under the Market for Change project. Creating a more equal society today will set the condition for a more sustainable tomorrow. This International Women's Day, let's all show appreciation, respect, and love to all the incredible women in our lives, be it your mother, grandmother, aunt, sister, wife, or daughter. Let us pledge to create a world where women do not have to face any discrimination, stereotyping, and disrespect. So, ladies and gentlemen, Vinaka Vakalevu, Dhanyawad, and thank you very much.